Hello, Bill Molyneux here, Fast Play War Games and the Nottingham Wargaming Group. And brought to you tonight is the CSS Neuce, which is the only ironclad that has a museum that's been retrieved that's not in the mud. And in August, I'm going to go see the CSS Neuce with my friend Josh Warliff. But tonight, I'm going to do a video of the CSS Neuce. And we have a little river action here. Please look up the CSS Neuce on Facebook and Wikipedia. It's a cool museum. They even have a full-scale replica. So in our miniature game, we're going to start off with the rules. Beer and Pretzel Ironclads by Buck Surdrew. And Buck is... he lives in Florida now, but he used to pretty much organize the Hawks along with a couple other people, Duncan and Eric, the Schlegel brothers, and Kurt. So tonight we have the CSS Neuce, and it's going to be sailing up the river, and it's going to be fighting 3 wooden paddle wheelers, the USS Eflin, General Thomas, and the USS Nymph. So these 3 ships all have light armor. They're lightly armored paddle steamers. And miniature-wise, here they are. General Thomas, and then we have our other 2. The CSS Nymph and our Elfin. So I'm going to pause the camera here. Spend just a moment on the combat cards. Now these are a little modified for my own use, and but they're pretty close to what Buck includes in his book. He has a top silhouette of the ships, and you can have the numbers in, but I actually like these little pictures that I take out of the Wikipedia, and so you'll see the little numbers. And so this is a speed of 8, so it can go to 8 inches, and I'll mark off every time it loses some speed points to the point of when the hull gets to 0 on this ship, it has 16 points, it sinks. So here we go. The sequence on this is I roll dice, determine who goes first, and it's a move and shoot system. So I'm going to pause it here, probably play a turn or 2 to get these ships in action, and then I'll come back. Stand by. Well, I played 3 turns now, and so the Neuce is moved into close range, and the General Thomas has been, they've all been firing each other. However, the Neuce is yet to suffer any casualties, any losses in its hull or anything. However, the U.S. Elfin has lost some boiler speed. I guess some paddles have been hit. It's lost 3 points of speed. And the General Thomas took a couple hull points and some speed. They're getting pretty close now, so the chances of hitting are quite high, and the damage also be increased. So I'm going to continue on. Well, our action has really increased, and played like 3 more turns. So I'll do the quick... I don't want to run the entire game. I'm afraid everyone will get super bored. But the Elfin is just about gone. She's got 1 hit point left, no guns, 2 inches of speed, and it's a flaming wreck. It's also on fire. Buck's rules include fire. And unfortunately, if you don't put it out, you keep burning up. So that's an issue. The Nymph, well, it's lost its guns. It only started with 2, and its hull is almost gone. It's now that the Thomas has taken no damage for the most part still since about the 3rd turn. Now the Neuce, unfortunately, has taken some damage now, and it's lost a couple inches of speed and some hull points, but really what's bad is General Thomas scored a hit on one of its two very heavy guns, which is a big issue because it only has two. It's only moving 3 or 4 inches now for ramming. So we're going to pause the camera again and play a couple more turns and come back again. Well, we're back to the action. 3 more turns have passed, I think it is. Guess I should have been writing down the turns. Well, the USS Nymph is gone. She's sunk. So isn't the USS Elfin. And here they are, sinking wrecks. Now the CSS Neuce is it's made a turn. Now Buck has these turning circles. However, for my own game purposes, I just use this little degree turner thing that I made, and the Neuce can make 2 of these turns. They cost an inch a turn, and I find that just works fine for what I war game with and a few people that do ironclads with me. Now the Thomas, it has not been hit much still from the very couple early turns, and the problem with the Neuce at this point is it's down to 1 point of speed and 1 gun. So it did take out the 2 small paddle wheelers, but it's gonna have to fight its way back upstream back to its home base, and that's with 1 inch a turn. I don't think we're gonna make it, but let's see what happens. Well, bad news for the CSS Neuce. She's gonna strike her colors, and with only moving 1 inch, 4 turns worth, the General Thomas just wailing away. The Neuce has on its damage sheet, we'll go take a look at our damage sheet. As you can see, we have no speed, no guns, I can't ram. Its hull's down about 5 hit points. And taking a look at Buck's rule sheet, use a D20, a cross index with the type of armor versus the type of weapon, and 2 hull, 2 crew. Now for my game purposes, I ditched the crew. You can easily use the detailed crew, and what's nice about Buck's rules is he does have all these neat stats and ships. So this is the riverboat, and I pretty much copy his stats. I just put the little picture. So sadly enough, the CSS Neuce is striking its colors, and the crew's gonna, I guess, abandon ship and I guess pull the plug on it and scuttle it. And hopefully the General Thomas crew will come by and pick up the crew. And to end this miniature game, the Thomas only took 1 point of speed and 3 points of hull hits. But the Nymph and Elfin, with their light paddle wheelers and just 2 guns each, they were no match for the CSS Neuce. And I'm sure if the General Thomas was fighting the Neuce alone with the light armor, I think the Neuce could have won. But this is just a fun evening scenario, afternoon scenario, whatever. Late afternoon, early evening. So, in conclusion, I hope everyone enjoyed this video of the CSS Neuce. Please look it up on the internet. They have a great museum, a replica down the street in another museum. And once again, you can buy Buck Surger's rules, Beer and Pretzel ironclads, download at Wargame Vault. And I don't think you'd be disappointed. And you can buy small scale ships like these for a couple dollars a pop. I mean, $20 bill, and you have yourself a Confederate. You can have 3 or 4 ships per side. Very inexpensive miniature wargaming hobby. And I think that's it. And say goodbye. I hope everyone enjoys this longer video of a miniature war game in action. Stay safe, be kind, and be courteous. And consider buying Buck's Rules Beer and Pretzel ironclads. Hey, thank you.